I think the word again today is persevere. A few years ago, I got together with some of my seminary classmates for a class reunion retreat. Monsignor John Canary was the director of the retreat. He was the rector of the seminary when we were there. And he asked us, he said, what's the biggest surprise you guys experienced in your first 20 years of priesthood? And to a man, everyone said the level of persecution the church is experiencing around the world and also in our own country, sadly. The journey to the promised land, the promise was never one of an easy journey. So the journey through Egypt, freedom from slavery, through the desert to the promised land is symbolic of our own life journey to heaven. And the journey, if you follow that journey, we had several stories in the last couple of weeks of that journey to the promised land. Remember the fiery serpents that were biting the people, and people were bailing out on Moses, and they're running out of food, they were hungry, and then they were thirsty. And many of them didn't persevere. Many of them bailed out on on Moses. And they didn't make it to the promised land. They died in the desert. So amid the fiery serpents, amid the hunger, God sent manna from heaven. They're dying of thirst. Moses struck the rock and life-giving water flowed out, the flow of God's grace. And those that were there, those that persevered, remained connected to the source, made it to the promised land. That's the point. We have to remain connected to that source of grace and mercy to make it through this difficult world. Jeremiah was persecuted in today's first reading, and Jesus is persecuted in the gospel to a level who would believed. That was the most difficult time, I think, for Jesus is the betrayal and the denial and the persecution he experienced. People he loved, people he was going to die for. He had faced this persecution. They were throwing stones at him, getting ready to crucify him. That's the real passion. Love that's rejected. Love that's put to death. That's the real passion. So come, Holy Spirit, fill the hearts of us, your faithful, and enkindle within us the fire of your love, and help us to persevere.